you also talked about this sort of digital platforms, people, understanding the customer, the team, the craft, the practices. I mean, we're seeing a big revolution in the tooling side of it at this point also, obviously, with marketing automation platforms, video marketing platforms, social media platforms, even just hooking all this stuff together is somewhat complicated at this point. What are you seeing on the sort of tooling front that excites you? And what is the downsides of it? Because I guess it's also tough nowadays to keep up with all the marketing stack that existed.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. I stopped tracking the marketing stack. I stopped tracking all technology to some extent that has to involve, that regards scale. And the reason is because it's perpetuating the problem. It takes all of these new promising opportunities and forces you to think about it in ways that allow you to scale it. So it doesn't make you rethink how you use any of it. It just puts you in the same process of stuffing things into the machine to push it out based on a schedule and attach metrics to it. You haven't really challenged your own status quo, yet you think, because you're using these tools, that you're being innovative. Ask the customer if they care about what stack you're using. They don't care, because what they'll say is the same thing. It's meaningless. So we get busy for the sake of being busy, and I stopped tracking this so that I could get back and see, what do we need to do? If you're going to scale anything, what would you scale that would matter today?
So the perfect team would then obviously really know that and have the great tooling.
I think tools are enablers.
But I think it's a really good point that we're seeing. I mean, we definitely last week we saw a customer that had 42 different tools in their marketing stack, right? I mean, just keeping up with the subscriptions and the roadmaps and what have not, right? It's a tough one. So what presently really excites you just now? I mean, what's the last 3 to 6 months? We live in a world in turmoil and disruption on many levels these days. What is it just the last few months that have gotten you really excited at some point? Really excited about that there is hope and there is future and there's clarity?
If it's one thing that I'm excited about, it's that the consumerization of all technology is having its moment. It's really starting to. I mean, there's a lot to really try to keep up with, but it's having its moment where that it's crashing over consumerism in ways that are forcing companies to have the kinds of conversations they should have had a long time ago. Nobody likes to change. Sometimes we want to go backwards. I mean, that's just exactly what happened in the United States with their new president. But that's not the answer. There's a future. It's going to happen, right? And you have a choice. And so what has me so excited is that if you allow yourselves to see where it's going, you can be part of it. And you have a choice of how you want to be part of it. Do you want to let it affect you, or do you want to shape it? And I think that if you can be inspired by how technology is impacting people and what they want to do and how they do it, marketing, business, service, support, products, all these things just have an opportunity to be more relevant and also as a result change how we do business. I mean, I don't think many people would just say about every company that they love doing business with these companies. They have a few that they love because those few really try to be great. Everybody else has a reluctant relationship with certain companies, and it's just sort of been that way for far too long.